I'm back with Daniel Elliott. And Daniel, do you want to remind us who you are? As if we could forget.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Yeah, my name is Daniel Raymond Elliott, and I live and play here in the Snuneymuxw territory of Nanaimo. And my family is from Staminas, which is down by Ladysmith. And I grew up down there as a youngster, so I haven't moved too far from home in that sense. And I'm happy to be here today with you, Anne, and our friends here on Zoom land. And today I want to talk a little bit about probably one of my most important and one of my most favorite subjects and parts of me. And I think there is something that I wanted to share. And in our Coast Salish cultural language, in our Hulkaminam language, there's no word for art. It's not. It's about how we practice with everything that we do, which is interesting because we have definitely, words for art, and we know what that means in English. But for me, our people, like for instance, this is people would consider this beautiful art.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you heard it too. It's a beautiful rattle. And
So
so
art is
yeah,
just part of your whole life. It isn't.
it is. It is. And so art culturally, for a long time ago, we did everything was art and clothing and how we built our nets and our homes, and even our spoons had beautiful ornate carving, and they were like bighorn sheep spoons. So art was such an important part of our expression of being. But for me, I grew up and I had some really difficult times as a child because my dad he drank, and it was really hard for me. And art, I say, saved my life because it allowed me to. And I have a little book called Elmer the Squirrel, and in 1962, I have a little face I drew on there when I was 2 years old, and that's the earliest drawing that I have.
You drew when you were 2 years old.
Yeah, and then when I was in grade one, I remember drawing for the first time with a pen, a ballpoint pen. And that was a big thing way back, and everything was either pencil or something. And I drew like an octopus and pen and a biplane, which is a two-wing plane. And the teacher ran it in. And I went to the principal, look, this little guy, he's drawing. Look at him draw. And so at a very tender age, I expressed myself through art. And as I got older, I realized,
Those were obviously things that were important to you, an octopus and a plane.
yeah, yeah. My grandma used to call octopus medicine food, and the name is skiit much, which means like devilfish, I guess. But it's a food. She called it medicine food. But so I drew all these things, and when I got older, I drew my whole life, and I kind of kept it kind of private in a sense, but it allowed me and my brain to see the world differently. So I encourage you as young artists to not worry about making a perfect drawing, but as you draw, and paint, you begin to have your own voice. So even at a young age, so when I became older, I couldn't have the words to express something. So I actually painted a body of work, and it's called Truth, Art, and Reconciliation. And I have like 14 paintings in there and a book, and I wrote it. So your life can be changed through art. So the best thing that you can do is just find something that you really like, and I encourage you to just take pen and paper. And I don't know about digital art and stuff. That's a whole brand new world. But for me, when I touch paper and I touch art, my mind can go somewhere else, and it allows me to be calm. It allows me to focus my life, and I get excited and for just being. So art can change who you are, and it can add to your life in a beautiful way. And I have friends that paint beautiful landscapes, and I have, but you find out what you really like in life and you start drawing it, and all of a sudden it just gets better and better and more. And just remember that when you think you have a work that's a failure, but that's actually a building block that you have to become better. So I don't really ever see my work as failure. I just say, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll try something different next time. And there's no right or wrong. And so art is one of the most, for me, like music, it expresses ourselves in a way that we can't say in words. So I encourage each of you to paint and draw and carve or whatever you can find your hands to do, because that is a reflection of your inner spirit in a way that you can't get anywhere else.
That's lovely. Thank you so much, Dan. We're going to have you back again, of course. And I'm sure you're going to be an inspiration for all the kids and adults out there, because expressing ourselves and getting away from the feeling that we failed or this wasn't good enough,
Yeah,
is so important.
it is. Thank you for having me. My honor. Hajj Kasiyam, which means thank you, honored ones.
We'll see you next time. And I'm so looking forward to talking to Dan again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.